Paul, for a long time, you were a skeptic of Bitcoin and some cryptocurrencies, but you recently appear to have changed your mind about that. What happened?
Well, COVID happened and the great monetary inflation happened, and that made me begin to think about how do you want to be positioned in your portfolio going forward. So that's really what tripped my interest in Bitcoin. And you have to realize, if you just think about, say, Bitcoin versus cash, right? Bitcoin, when I think of stores of value, I think of it four ways: purchasing power, trustworthiness, liquidity, and portability. That's kind of the categories I put it in. So when it comes to trustworthiness, Bitcoin's 11 years old. There's very little trust in it. We're watching the birthing of a store of value, and whether that succeeds or not, only time will tell. What I do know is that every day that goes by and Bitcoin survives, the trust in it will go up. If you take cash, on the other hand, and you think about it from a purchasing power standpoint, if you own cash in the world today, you know your central bank has an avowed goal of depreciating its value 2% per year. So you have, in essence, a wasting asset in your hands. So Bitcoin, I think it's a great speculation. I've got something between 1 and I think just over 1% of my assets in Bitcoin. Maybe it's almost 2. That seems like the right number right now. It's not, for me, it's not the greatest. It's not the great cure for all the monetary ills, et cetera. It's a great speculation. That's what I would say Bitcoin is.
Right. Paul, do you see this, though, in relation? I'm thinking about tech stocks now, because one of the things we have seen even over the past 2 months is just the move towards virtual. Anything that can be done virtually has had great success, whether it be Zoom or any of the big tech companies in the Valley, because we're all able to do that virtually. Is that the way you see Bitcoin? And separately, do you own gold? I was going to ask at the same time.
I have assets in gold also. I think gold can go substantially higher. And yes, the digitization of the world clearly benefits Bitcoin. I mean, we wouldn't even be talking about Bitcoin if we weren't seeing first cousins like Venmo and a variety of other ways. My children don't even carry cash. They barely even know what cash is. So we're clearly digitizing the global economies. You've seen some countries do it explicitly, like India. You're seeing other countries on the way to do it, like China. So we're getting in an increasingly digitized world, and Bitcoin will be that much more accessible by that universe of people that could own it as a store of value. When you think about every bull market, every single bull market has one common thread: an ever-expanding universe of people who own it. So there's probably, the estimates are between 55 and 70 million people own Bitcoin. We really, if you're buying Bitcoin, your bet is that number is going to go to 120 million or to 200 million. And it's kind of hard when you look around and you see that the world's becoming increasingly digitized, not to think that the preponderance of evidence at this point in time doesn't point in that direction. But again, when I think of Bitcoin, I look at it as one tiny part of a portfolio. It may end up being the best performer of all of them. I kind of think it might be, but I'm very conservative. I'm going to keep a tiny percent of my assets in it, and that's it. It has not stood the test of time, for instance, the way that gold has, which has been a store of value for 2,500 years.
Let's get over to China now. That's where Disneyland Shanghai reopened to customers after a 3-month shutdown. Eunice Yoon joins us right now with a look at what theme parks could look like in a post-COVID world. And Eunice, you know, if you open it and they come, I guess that's one part of the story.
Yeah, no, it's true. People are coming. Of course, Disney is managing the coronavirus concerns by screening everyone's temperature. They're asking that visitors wear masks and also that they keep a safe distance from each other. So Disney is capping the daily capacity at 30%. So that's about 24,000 visitors a day. And, you know, guys, what's interesting is that from just a general experience for the visitors here today, it's less crowded. And if you could get over the idea that there is this pandemic going on, and so if you could kind of get over that fear, the experience is quite nice. I mean, a lot of people were talking about how it's not very crowded, a lot of excitement that you only have to wait in line. People were saying for about 5 minutes to get onto our ride. So there isn't that same level of kind of stress to get everything done that you might see at a park if you go to Disney.
Hey, Eunice, I wondered how they were going to deal with the social distancing. And we have been telling people, the CDC has been telling people, and I think WHO has too, that you need to have 6 feet in between people. So how'd they come up with the 3 feet?
Yeah, you know, the company said that there are several different guidelines. And in China right now, it's actually been 1 meter or 3 feet. So they were going with the 3 feet or 1 meter guideline. But, it's different. I think that what's happening here is that Disney is figuring out what works in different parks. Social distancing here, will it work elsewhere? You know, I actually specifically asked about the health code because there's a government-mandated health code in China that the Shanghai park asks all the visitors to show them. That's not something that potentially would work, say, in the United States, where you probably won't have a government-mandated health code. So there's still a lot of learnings going on, but from what the company tells me, they are sharing a lot of these discussions with people within the industry.
Yeah, I guess part of it is if you were still forced to keep 6 feet apart in the parks, that would mean that you would have to have 2 lanes in between or 2 aisles in between everything on the rides, which means you'd get a lot fewer people going through. And I wonder if that's a point that would make it unprofitable for companies to operate here in the United States, too.
Yeah, no, I was actually asking a bit about the financials, but, the people that I were talking to are on the operations side. So, nobody really had much to say about that. Most of the executives are actually outside of China, and because of the way the restrictions are for travel, none of them were here.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family. It's a very imperative time we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Now, basically, we're going to go over Mr. Jones. He's back on CNBC. Again, he's saying that Bitcoin is a great hedge against inflation. Guys, he's a hedge fund manager. He's not buying Bitcoin right now. He probably bought Bitcoin back when it was $1, few cents. Right now, he said it to you, and if you understand the language that he spoke, he said Bitcoin is great for speculation. What? It's a great gamble. So he's making money. He's a hedge fund manager. He doesn't care whether it go up or down. He's playing the game. He's making money regardless. So guys, we always have to understand what they're saying, the terminology. Speculation. Speculation is nothing but gambling. He doesn't care whether it goes up or down because either way he's going to make money. Now, getting into the Disney video, which was funny. Of course, Disney is an American company over in China opening up. Now, you see the reporter has the mask on her face when being interviewed by the CNBC. But when she's going into public, she has no mask on. And then at the end, she says, y'all are doing 3 feet in China. We're doing 6 feet over here. Why? And that stumped her a little bit. Evidently, they must didn't practice that because she kept stuttering. So that is hilarious. But guys, basically, I just wanted to do this quick video because, of course, CNBC always trips me up. I watch it just to hear the message that they're saying because what I do is that I do the opposite. And guys, I suggest you do that. CNBC is a great channel. Plus, CNBC Asia is a wonderful channel because actually they tell the truth a lot of the times on CNBC Asia, but not on regular CNBC. Always do the opposite when it comes to CNBC. But guys, that's all I have for you. Just like I said, I just want to do that video. I know we're like an hour away from the halving, so I just want to do that quick video just because of Paul there. But y'all have a wonderful day.